So my presentation is on the decolonization of Great Britain. During this time in Great Britain, in the early 20th century, you could see that they had many parts of the world that were part of the empire, including Canada, Africa, India, and Australia, and several other islands in the world. And what caused decolonization to begin? The events that occurred after World War II encouraged decolonization. This was because of the emphasis on freedom of countries to rule themselves without empirical rule, and this caused countries to focus on themselves and their own independence. And the revolt started in India by Gandhi, and his popularity also encouraged others to protest. Not only that, but the media also spread Gandhi's ideology to the rest of the world, which caused other countries to seek their own independence as well. And you can see in this political cartoon, you could see that there is corporate globalization, as well as the East India Company, and how they both have influenced Indians, and the colonization that still has happened despite the trends going on there with capitalism. This is a continuation of my last slide. The Indian Revolution had a great impact on this. In 1947, India gained independence from Great Britain, and Gandhi inspired these revolts, and Britain hoped that withdrawing itself from India would still keep the country united under their rule. However, what this did was this caused tensions to occur in India between the Muslims and Hindus. And you can see this political cartoon shows this. It shows the protesters protesting against Britain, and that they're calling for independence against Great Britain, yet their country is left in ruins basically from the lack of rule. It's basically become a tyranny because of this. And that was and then this is a political cartoon created by the British to show this against independence of countries. During other factors that encouraged decolonization was this mindset against the imperialist mentality because of the emphasis on freedom. Places such as Malaysia, Kenya, and Ghana gained independence in 1957, and this encouraged smaller countries to seek self-government. And because of this, it became harder for Britain to control these territories because of the local politics and settlers. And the settlers that moved there brought tension into the colonized areas. As I said earlier, with India, that is a primary example of this trend happening, with Britain controlling other countries, and this spread to the rest of the world. Not only that, but Britain competed with France and West Germany, as well as the United States, and as being a world major world power. And you can see it in this other political cartoon, and it says 1985, 1955. It shows a comparison between a wealthy white man going to the colonies to explore versus a black man going to Britain to get money, showing the change in fiscal opportunities during these time frames. There were these conflicts destroyed British influence in the Middle East, and it shows the weakened British military and their declining influence in these colonized areas is what caused their empire to eventually collapse. Because of their declining influence in the rest of the world and countries wanting to rule themselves, it caused this shift to happen. And it has gradually declined from the early 20th century to the present day, with one of the later countries declaring independence being Hong Kong in 1997, and this being only being 20 years ago. And currently, empirical ties are around with language, history, as well as culture and colonized areas. And that is the modern way of how colonization with Great Britain is still seen in the modern day. And here is my works cited.